Good morning, everyone. Just going to do a quick sound check while everyone's filing in. If you can hear me okay, please type into the Q&A there. I guess it's the only place you can put it at the moment. All good. Thanks, Carol. Thanks, Kelly. Okay. It is 11 o'clock. I'd like to be punctual. So while people are filing in, we will get started. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for discovering Simple Invest 360. My name is Andrew Pascoe. I am the product manager here at BGL for the Simple Invest team, and I'll be running the webinar. Do quick housekeeping. So this webinar is being recorded. This is probably the most asked question in any webinar. Is it being recorded? Well, I received a copy of the slides. Yes. Webinar is being recorded. You will receive a copy of the recording and also a copy of the slides either later today or in the next couple of days. We'll email it out to you. If you've got any questions as we go along, please feel free to put them into the Q&A. We do have Stephen, our dedicated tester and Simple Invest team, sitting in. He did previously work in support, so he knows a lot more than me. This is your chance to ask him all the difficult questions. I'm going to launch a poll just so we learn a little bit more about each of you that are attending today. Please just take a minute or so to go through and complete the poll. This helps us to understand who's attending, what you're expecting to get out of this webinar, and helps us to tailor this session as well. While you are completing that poll, just do two things. One is bring your attention to the feedback, feature requests. You can do through our software. So in Simple Fund and Simple Invest 360, we do have that little thumb icon on the top right where you can leave any feature requests you wish or leave any feedback, complaints even. Please be nice. Constructive criticism only. And that information that you leave there goes throughout the whole company. Even our managing director, Ron Lesh, will see that. So it's definitely transparent for us when we're seeing all that feature requests. Quick shout out for Masterclass as well. If you need to do a bit of a deep dive, get some training for your staff or for yourself, we are running a Masterclass session in February and March. I'll get Stephen just to drop into the chat a link to where you can book. Thanks, Stephen. That just takes you through to the website where you can book. We'll be running Masterclass sessions for CAS, Simple Invest, and Simple Fund 360. We run it all on the same day. So you can attend one or attend all three, up to you. Okay, so back to the whole point of today, Simple Invest 360. Who is currently using Simple Invest 360? Well, mainly accountants, of course, but we also have self-directed investors. So people who like to look after their own investments and they want to be able to keep track of everything, help their accountant out at year end by giving them some easy to understand reports of what's happened during the year. So we've got about a third of people that are using it just for themselves, and then 2/3 would be accounting firms. Obviously, BGL very strong as far as the market position in accounting firms. Just close off that poll. Okay. And what are they using it for? Of course, the main use case that we see is for trusts, for family trusts in particular, and then of course unit trusts as well. And then we did originally launch with just trusts and companies, and a lot of people put companies on, then people asked immediately to put individuals. So we do see people that are loading on individual portfolios and they're taking advantage of the kind of family group reporting that we allow as well. And what can Simple Invest 360 do? Well, it really is accounting, investments, financial reports, and tax for trust companies and individuals. So you see that for all these entity types, we are able to do the CGT register, we're able to do the investment reporting, the financial reporting, of course, tax reporting, and we're doing lodgement for the trust and companies, and for the individuals, we're just giving you a tax rec summary and a tax rec detail as well. And why did we build Simple Invest 360? Well, we built it for our Simple Fund clients that are asking, why can't I use Simple Fund for non-SMSF entities? These clients were using disparate software to manage investment trusts, investment companies, to keep track of investment portfolios or in individual names. So the software tech stack they were using would look something like this top row here, where they were getting data from banks, brokers, wraps, and platforms, having to either collect the data themselves and put it into some sort of document management system, or ask the client to upload it somewhere. And then they were having to keep track of CGT with an Excel spreadsheet. Of course, they would have a separate ledger running, such as Handysoft or MyOb. And if they had any international investments, they would have to convert these to Australian dollars using RBA end-of-day rates. Keying all this information in general ledger software to then arrive in accounting and tax positions, and then to calculate the profit distribution, they were then using another Excel spreadsheet to figure out the optimal way to distribute this to the beneficiaries. And of course, preparing any associated Word documents, so the minutes, resolutions, beneficiary statements, probably doing that in Word. Then putting the final profit distribution back into a ledger and tax software and lodging through to the ATO. So with Simple Invest 360, we're really trying to eliminate a lot of this back and forth. As you know, anytime you're doing back and forth, manually rekeying of data, there is scope to make mistakes. So now we're able to do it all within Simple Invest 360. Able to use all of the 400 plus data feeds that we already have available for Simple Fund. So you can receive all of that data in automatically overnight from all the banks, the brokers, the apps and platforms. Any missing documentation, you can ask the client to email it through to their SmartDocs email, and it'll be automatically collected in our document management screen. And our end of year wizard allows you to automatically calculate all the profit to be distributed and all the tax components to be distributed to the beneficiaries, as well as creating all the supporting documents that go along with that. And then, of course, for the investment trusts, investment companies, we can lodge directly through to the ATO. Now, the feedback from our existing clients using Simple Fund 360 already is that there is very minimal retraining required. So because you already understand all the key concepts from Simple Fund, it'd be very simple for you to pick up Simple Invest 360, as it uses all that same machine learning technology, same financial reporting, same ease of use, and that same time-saving CGT engine. We thought it might be around 60% similar to Simple Fund, but it's actually closer to 80% similar to Simple Fund. Okay, so I will jump in and show you a few things in the software. I do want to break down each part of this kind of workflow that I just showed you before. So as far as getting data in, we offer many ways for you to get data in. So it could be, the best way is to set up automated data feeds, of course. So if you're able to get the client to sign a form, then they can automate the bank data flowing through automatically overnight. And if you are able to get them to put in that contract note email into their broker, anytime they do a trade, the buy or sell contract note PDF, it will be emailed through to our software. We read it, we create the transaction, and we store the source document as well. But of course, some people don't sign a form, or they don't want to, or perhaps they are one of the very few institutions that we don't support. So we'll go through and show you how we can upload some information via CSV. Also show you how we can use our SmartDocs technology. So this is SmartDocs technology that we've built in-house to read all the bank statements, read unrealized reports, read annual tax statements and rental statements. And it's very, very powerful. So first of all, we're going to go through and just create an entity. For now, we'll just do it as an individual. Put in a start date and a financial year. I think it was this one. Yeah. We'll just create that. And then I'm going to import from CSV a broker file. So something that you can get from, for example, ComSec. And we just sort of do some mapping for us on the screen, but we can do the mapping here. Contract dates, units, and security code. And I've got to use the consideration amount and just import. So that'll start importing all these transactions from my CSV file, and I'll import into the ledger. So we are a full double entry accounting system, of course. Now, once all that data is imported, give us a little complete there. And we can go over to our transaction list screen. Show me, see I've got some of those buys there. And if we go to the next financial year, see it's got those cells. So this is just the broker side, so the buys and sells. If I click into a transaction, so you can see we are double entry accounting, got debits and credits. The thing that we are different from some other ledger products you may be using is we've got a column for units. So of course, this helps us to create that CGT register for you. So you don't need to keep an Excel spreadsheet separate to your ledger to be able to record CGT. So if we click into our transaction and the more details, so this is always accounting up the top, tax down the bottom, and you can see here it's got the disposal details. So it's showing me the disposal method. This is something you can set up as far as your default disposal method. Otherwise, we can switch here between most and least tax effective. We can even do manual and go through and select parcel by parcel which one we want to dispose of. And then we'll show you here on the screen the calculation that we are doing for the capital gain. So you see all of that piece there that you would have been having to mess around with in Excel. We are doing it for you automatically within the software. Okay, so expanding on that whole CGT and keeping track of all that information, what about for corporate actions? Once again, previously, maybe having to try and remember when a corporate action took place, go through and manually process it as a journal or update the spreadsheet. Here, we will list for you all the corporate actions that have taken place within the fund. So never miss a corporate action. If we go through and click on process for the step one, select security, we did that. Step two, input details. So it's going through and it's automatically pre-filling all the information for us, including the franked and unfranked, number of shares allotted, and a residual balance. So we can check this against the dividend statement. If it's all good, we just click on process corporate action, and that's done, and it's created a journal in the ledger for us. Okay, now we've pulled through the trades. We've done a corporate action. We may also have to do a year-end annual tax statement. We can go through and upload that information. So VAS, for example, they would be getting a annual tax statement for this. You can just upload the tax statement that you're getting from the provider. So we have the VAS. And what our Smart Docs technology will do, it'll go through and read the information from the statement. So previously, we'd have to manually key in this information. And here you can just go through and it'll read the information. It'll take maybe 5 to 10 minutes to read that document. I did have one I set up earlier. Let's see if we can find it. Yes. See if we can find one here. Put it through street tax. There we go. Once it's read the document, it will say this has Smart Doc tax data, and we just extract from the PDF. And you can see it's pulled all that information from PDF out. Myself, I'm not an accountant. Getting these tax statements, trying to figure out how to put them into the software was an absolute nightmare for me. Now I can just go through and check it off. The information is pulled through against the tax statement itself, and then just post that, and it'll post all the tax components to the ledger. Huge, huge time saver for me. Okay, so what about the other side? If we were wanting to pull through some bank information, of course, we'd have to create a bank account first, which is called this one, CBA. It's creating a bank account for some place to import the data. Now, on this screen here, and on a few of the screens where you can upload documents, you may notice there's this little QR code. So you can get out your phone, use your QR code reader to read the QR code, and then any document you've got on hand, you can take a photo of and it will upload into this screen. Otherwise, if you already have it in a PDF form, you've got a CBA bank statement here, confirm. I can upload PDF, doesn't have to be the original, it can be a copy of a copy, that's okay. We'll still be using our Smart Docs technology to go through and read all the information, get some nice green ticks there. If I'm not sure where this transaction is, I can just click around. It'll find it for me and just click on create, and I'll go through, pull all the information in. If there's anything to match off against our trades, it'll automatically match, and it'll automatically match a few others. Otherwise, we'll go through and manually match or create some rules to match that data. Also, when we are importing data in, we can choose if we are doing it in another currency. For example, if it was US dollars, we can use our RBA end-of-day rates to automatically go through. Just getting some issues with Zoom on my computer there. I think Zoom is crashing. It's having a few Zoom issues. Okay, keep going. So we can pull through the bank statements in USD and automatically convert to AUD as well. Now, all that information that we're pulling through, uploading, it's all going to be stored in our document screen. Hoping people can still hear me because I think I might be paused. So you can see we've only got a couple of documents here, but if I jump over to one, you can see that I've got many more documents. Okay, sounds like you can still hear me, which is good. So you can see here I've got many more documents uploaded. What I can do with these is I can use the folders on the left to go through and make sure that they are uploaded to the right place, and it'll go through and create a little tag for them. So now that I'm creating a tag for them, it means that when I go through at year end, I'm also able to use those tags to generate my work papers. All the source documents will be already attached in the right section. It's just a matter of me going through and seeing if I've got the correct source documents for each ledger account there. You can see we're saving you time also at year end by already collecting your documents through the year. Did touch on, of course, we do investment reporting as well. So just under investment dashboards, we have the ability here to show you the investment performance over certain periods. And you can see this entity here has got a few different investments, a bit of property, a few shares, ETFs. This is pretty standard with what we're seeing. And this is a great way for your client to be able to get all that investment information to one place. So yes, if they've only got listed securities, they can get that from their broker. But if they've also got a property, now you're giving them an option to show all the investment reporting on the screen here. You can invite them in, give them access just to this screen. Don't give them access to any of the accounting side, and that'll be fine. Okay, so with this family trust, I did already set up a few beneficiaries. We can go through and add more beneficiaries if we want. You can see there's the 4 family members, company, and another trust. And then you can see that what we can do now is part of our year-end process. So we've gone through and processed all the transactions, done our corporate actions, done the annual tax distribution, the distribution tax automation, and it's time to go through and do period compliance. We can choose to distribute on a yearly, quarterly, monthly, or custom period. Today we'll just be using a yearly period. So we'll start the workflow. Up comes our statement of taxable income screen where we have the net profit before distributions. That's the income less expenses, all the tax items that are captured by the software. So you should be able to see the statement of taxable income screen. Sorry about that. A few gremlins today. So the distribute profit, here we are at the statement of taxable income screen where we've got all the tax components, comes down to our net taxable income or loss. And then we have a reserving section as well. So we just save and post that. Up comes our distribute profit screen where we can toggle income streaming on if we want to get really granular as far as how we're distributing out the frank distribution discounted gains. Otherwise, we can just do a straight up 80-20 split between Charlotte and Marty. Once again, this is the accounting side at the top. Down below is the tax components. We can use our little magic wand to autofill from percent. And you can see here it's starting to look like that, that part of the tax return. So post and continue, that is now posting that amount to our trust ledger. And if they are an existing entity also within BGL, we can choose to post these amounts to that ledger as well. So Charlotte already exists in BGL as an individual portfolio. So we can choose to post the journal to Charlotte. And then if we view that journal, it'll jump over to her ledger. So you'll see in the top left, it'll say Charlotte. 238 is a receiving distribution from that trust. And you can see it's pulled through all those tax components into her ledger. Right, so now it's continue to the tax return. for the family trust, we are pre-filling all the information for you, doing validations to show you where you're missing some information. And then once you clear out the validations, you will be able to lodge. Just go through and grab a report pack. And I'll run that off. So the report pack, of course, you can create your own report packs, have your own templates for the Word documents. So here we have the statement of financial position, the operating statement with those distributions paid, memorandum of resolutions. This is just a Word doc template you can change if you wish. Trustees declaration, compilation report, statement of distribution, beneficiary balance summary, the beneficiary distribution summary, so same as that screen we saw earlier. Annual tax statement. So similar to how your clients will receive annual tax statements from the ETFs, you will now be able to issue these annual tax statements from your trust, from your family trust. Very professional looking report. And then tax rec summary, and of course the tax return, and you can lodge directly through the software. Okay, so that's for a family trust. Of course, we have the ability to support unit trusts and companies. So I'll give you a quick rundown of those. So for the unit trust, instead of just the beneficiaries, they are unit holders. So that means when you go through and add the unit holders, you issue them units. And that means we can use this as a bit of a unit register here. If you've already got this information in CAS 360, we can pull it through automatically for you. And then it's just a matter of all throughout the year, the processing is the same. End of year process, a little bit different. We start the workflow, we save and post. And then instead of doing that distribute profit just to the beneficiaries, we do it by unit class. So you can see here, we're going to give 90% to the A class, 10% to the B class. And that means that it's automatically calculating the split based off the unit holdings. And then we can just choose to autofill tax components from that split above, and we post and continue. Skip this one for now. Tax return ready to be fixed up, validated, and lodged. Otherwise, for the trust reports, while I run those off, jump over to a company, just to save a bit of time. So for the unit trust, we are doing a few different reports. Of course, we have the statement of financial position, operating statement, unit holding statement, so showing you a bit of on-off during the year. We are showing a unit valuation letter, so looking at all the investments held, creating a letter for the unit holders, unit valuation report, a bit more detailed information with all the unit holders there. And then, of course, tax rate summary and the return. Of course, we're doing all the notes to the financials for these entities as well. And then finally, with a company, a couple of different things here. So, of course, we are doing shareholders. So similar to unit holders, you can issue them shares here, or you could pull the information through from CAS. And then we also have a section for Division 7A loans. For all those clients that want to use the company as their own personal bank account, their own piggy bank, you can go through here and use our loan calculator. You can even use it for entities that don't exist in BGL. That's fine. So this is one we set up for an entity that doesn't exist in BGL, and it just goes through and it does all the calculations for you based off the ATO interest rate. We'll show you the interest payments, minimum repayments, the balance, and then throughout the year you can choose to make manual repayments, or if it's linked to a ledger in Simple Invest, then we can choose to automatically post those repayment amounts. That Division 7A loan feature is no extra cost. That's already included in the software for you. And of course, as part of the year-end process, we start the workflow. We have our statement of taxable income screen where we save and post. We can now pay dividends. We have our franking credits worksheet where we can manually input the historical information. And then once we get started and posting dividends through here, it'll automatically update. And then we can choose to pay out, say, 60%, 10% franked, 20%, 10% franked. And it'll automatically calculate that as well as the retained earnings there. Maybe post and continue. Skip that. Pre-filling the tax return for you. let's run off some reports. Company. And while those are running off, let's jump ahead. It's just generating in the background. I could be working away doing something else. And then we have the statement of financial position, the operating statement. Of course, the declaration of dividends resolution, ready to be electronically signed. Members minute. Dividend statement. This is just a Word document template. You can change if you wish. Minutes of meeting of directors. All this you would have been preparing in Word before. We're generating it automatically for you. Directors report, director's declaration, and tax rec summary, and of course the tax return. So now that we've got all of our information in BGO, we've got our SMSF there because we use Simple Fund. We've loaded up our investment trust companies and any individual portfolios. We can now use consolidated reporting. So for the Bird family, you can see they've got a few different entities here. And then you can see that we are generating a cover letter for you, a bit of a summary across the entities, investment performance, so same as that investment performance screen we saw earlier. This is just combined across all of the entities. Asset allocation. So we're offering a few different views here. So by asset type, defensive versus growth, GICS code, tax positions, and then we did have this financials tab, which we will replace with these new financial full-on reports. So even you can have a consolidated balance sheet across that whole family group, show them by entity, what they're holding where, generate this PDF. This is adding a huge amount of value for your clients, and it's all included in the base price of Simple Invest 360. It's crazy. Of course, the operating statement, entity or period view, and then even investment report. Easily see which investments are they holding in which entity, where do I need to scale down, where do I need to add. Huge amount of data there for you. Okay, so we went through all of this. This is the client feedback that we've been receiving about Simple Invest 360. You can see the recurring themes here around corporate actions, CGT, automation of the document reading. This is going to just get better and better with the kind of documents that we can read and automate the transactions for you, automate your tasks for you. Bringing all the information into one spot. Previously, clients have information in a lot of different places, even family offices that we're speaking to, running Excel to try and provide consolidated reports to clients. It's just insane. Now we can just pull the information into Simple Invest and we'll automate it for you. I will send out a few client testimonials as part of the follow-up. Here's one from Damien. So of course, he just loves the automation for the CGT records, tax components. He was doing it all in spreadsheets before and we're saving him a lot of time. Linda from Clark and Brownrigg, she loves corporate actions. She loves the automation of distributions. And Lantana. So Brett saying previously they were running two different software. So financial planners had one, accountants had the other, always some discrepancies between the two. So now that they can run it within one software and provide client-facing performance and valuation reports, it just provides him with a whole new level of service that he can offer. So how do we get started? Well, you do, of course, purchase Simple Invest 360, identify which entities you want to convert, and then our client success team will convert that data for you free of charge. Once you create an entity, we'll get this little pop-up. Do you want to save time? Click the BGL Entity Setup Service button, and this will start the process for you. All important question, pricing. So Simple Invest 360 is only $100 per entity per year, purchased in block of 5 and then ones thereafter. That gets you the base price, so that includes all the corporate action data, the daily pricing, all of the Smart Docs technology. If you need to automate the bank data feeds coming in automatically overnight, that would be another $40. So that's for unlimited bank accounts, unlimited bank transactions. And then if you want to automate also the share data, so the data coming in automatically and also reconciling back to registry on a quarterly basis, that would be another $40. So the minimum you could pay per year is $100 plus GST, and the maximum is $180 plus GST per entity. Very, very reasonable. We are going to stick around for another 10 minutes or so. If there's any Q&A, please feel free to put them in. And we're happy to answer them. If you need to jet off now, I really appreciate you taking the time to sit in. Sorry about the technical issues we had with Zoom. That's the first for me, and hopefully the last. I will leave my contact details up here. If you want to reach out direct, connect with me on LinkedIn or shoot me an email. Looks like I did spell my name wrong in this slide, so I'll fix that up. But good to know. Other than that, yeah, we will stick around for some questions. Thanks everyone for joining. The question around format for file uploads to Simple Invest 360. So format for file uploads depends where. So obviously I showed you in the beginning here around the uploading of a CSV broker file. There's not really any format, like we don't have a specific format, but you can see once I upload this, you can see that we have some key information you need. So you need the date, you need the code, you need somewhere that says either purchase or sale. So you can see there's two different parts here. So just one of them would be fine. We've already got a date, so you don't necessarily need contract date settlement date. Those are optional, but you do need units and you do need a pricing consideration. So you do need those things as mandatory. So you can see here, these ones at the start, these are mandatory, and there's a few optional fields. So for CSV broker, it's just like that. For a bank file, if it's CSV, you would just need the date, the amount, and you can have it either as a debit credit or as a positive negative, and a description to be upload those. And then if it was smart matching with PDF, that's fine. You just upload the PDF. Yeah, Pam, we can definitely help out with the setup again if you're not happy with how they're being set up. Yeah, if you had a few issues with the setup, certainly look at doing that. So for all of our reports in our report screen, we can download them either as PDF, Excel, or Word. And then if you want to do any manipulation of those reports in another format, you're welcome to. Do you need to send out one more poll? I almost forgot. Should have done a bit earlier, but it's been a bit of a hectic morning, hasn't it? And then one more feature just while we're waiting for people to fill that out over in Smart Reports. So this is a bit of a live, it's replacing what we call live reports now. So we have Smart Reports, trial balance, general ledger, statement of financial position, operating statement. So the good thing about these Smart Reports here is we can compare across multiple periods. So we can look across many years or many months or many quarters. And then because we've got the data on the screen as well, we can even run it through a bit of a ChatGPT type experiment where we're feeding all the information in, telling it's an accountant, look out for any red flags, trends, or any other sort of analysis. It's something that you as accountants, you can probably do yourself. Maybe it'll take you 15, 20 minutes. Here it's taking you 5 minutes to identify certain things. And then you can query the data further by asking it questions or ask it to write an email to the client. And then you just either click for it to open up in your email service or copy into your own email. So try it out. As everything AI, you can understand a little bit gimmicky, a bit of a time saver, usually gets it right. You need to take it with a grain of salt. So we're all still learning about AI and how to use it best in our everyday life. This is one way. As you can see, our AI is smart, but not that smart. We don't think it's going to replace accountants, but hopefully it'll help you to work, get things done a bit more efficiently. And the last thing I wanted to mention for those lucky people that are sticking around at the moment is we are working on a new screen. Let's see. if I can find it. A new screen for properties. We're just doing it on our test servers at the moment. So replacing this screen. Let's see. Yeah. So we're doing a new property screen. It's going to have a bit more information. We're able to upload documents and things like that. I need a few people to help me test this out, some real clients to test it out. If you want to be a part of this kind of beta testing, you can just drop it into this little provide feedback button here that you want to be part of property dashboard beta testing, and we'll give you a link to try it out, run it through its paces, see what needs to be improved, see what you think we're missing. But we are looking to release a new screen for this quite soon. John, you will receive a copy of the recorded webinar and a copy of the slides. So no issue there. I think our questions are just drying up right now. So thanks to everyone who stuck with it. I know we had a few gremlins in the system today, but we got there in the end. Hopefully the recording turns out okay. If not, we may just re-record and send you another one. But yeah, thanks everyone for that's more Q&A. Yeah. Thanks everyone for coming along today. Thank you to Stephen for answering all of the questions. I hope that everyone has a great day.